Samantha Allen loved the simple beauty of the moon colony she called home. It was quiet, peaceful, and far away from the crowded cities of Earth. As a botanist, she spent her days among green plants, carefully tending to them under the clear dome that protected her colony from the harsh environment outside. Life here was calm and meaningful, filled with the promise of making the moon habitable for future generations. She had friends, people who shared her dreams and hopes. Samantha often walked with her friend Clara after work, discussing their latest experiments or sharing stories about their families back on Earth. They would look up through the transparent dome, gazing at the stars and planets, wondering about the other beings that might be out there. One evening, Samantha noticed something strange. Bright lights appeared in the dark sky, growing bigger and brighter. Alarmed, she called out to Clara, who immediately joined her. "What are those?" Clara asked nervously, her eyes wide with worry. "I don't know," Samantha said softly. "Maybe ships, but not ours." Soon, alarms sounded throughout the colony. A loud voice echoed, ordering everyone to get inside the shelters. Fear gripped Samantha, but she knew she needed to remain calm. Together with Clara, she hurried toward the emergency bunkers. As they ran, Samantha saw something she had hoped never to witness. Strange alien ships landed swiftly near their colony. Tall, intimidating figures stepped out, their forms hidden beneath dark armor. Samantha slowed her pace, feeling a surge of curiosity despite the danger. "Sam, hurry," Clara urged, grabbing her friend's arm. But Samantha couldn't look away. These beings, the Zurathi, moved swiftly and purposefully, inspecting their surroundings with cold efficiency. The colonists reached safety, but Samantha could not stop thinking about the aliens. Her thoughts were soon interrupted by a loud knock on the bunker door. The colonists inside froze, exchanging fearful glances. Samantha bravely stepped forward, deciding that someone had to face whatever was outside. "Be careful," Clara whispered, holding her breath. Samantha opened the door. Slowly, her heart pounding in her chest. A tall Zurathi stood before her, its expression unreadable behind its helmet. It spoke in a strange language, but Samantha understood through a small translator device she carried. "We seek your leader," the alien said firmly. Samantha, though not a political leader, stepped forward. "I can speak for us," she replied calmly. The Zurathi seemed to study her carefully before nodding. "You will come with us," the alien commanded. Samantha knew refusing could mean danger for everyone else, so she followed without hesitation. Clara watched anxiously as Samantha disappeared with the alien visitors. Inside the Zurathi ship, Samantha was brought before their leader, a formidable figure whose presence made her tremble slightly. Still, she stood tall, determined to represent her people well. "We are peaceful," Samantha explained softly but firmly. "We seek only to survive and help others survive." The Zurathi leader listened, seemingly intrigued by her bravery. They exchanged words for several minutes, Samantha hoping desperately that her message of peace would be understood. Eventually, the leader dismissed her, allowing her to return to the colony. Relieved, Samantha went back to her friends, believing she had managed to secure peace. But that night, while the colony slept, tragedy struck. Zurathi soldiers silently entered the compound. They targeted Samantha directly, their actions swift and ruthless. Samantha awoke just long enough to see the shadowy figure standing over her before darkness claimed her. The next morning, Clara found Samantha's lifeless body. The colony was thrown into despair. Everyone knew Samantha had tried to bring peace. News of her death quickly reached Earth, causing sadness and anger. Yet, Earth's leaders decided against retaliation. They did not want to risk a larger conflict over one lost life. Despite its significance, the colonists mourned deeply, planting a garden in Samantha's honor beneath the dome where she had spent so many joyful hours. Clara placed a small plaque there, promising never to forget her friend's courage and kindness. Life slowly returned to normal for the colonists, but a quiet sadness lingered. No one knew that deep beneath the surface, back on Earth, scientists had begun working on a secret project. Driven by the memory of Samantha Allen, Samantha, who had died believing in peace, was about to become something much more a symbol of humanity's resilience and hope. Deep underground, far from public view, a group of scientists worked quietly and determinedly. Their mission was clear yet highly secretive: to bring Samantha Allen back to life. Earth had decided not to fight openly against the Zorthi, but that did not mean humanity would simply accept the loss. Samantha had represented peace and hope, and they wanted her alive once again. Dr. Helen Carter led the project. She was a brilliant scientist who had spent years perfecting biotechnology, specializing in restoring life. With great care and patience, she and her team managed to preserve Samantha's body, keeping it ready until they could find a way to restore her fully. Months passed in intense effort and careful experiments. The scientists faced many challenges, yet they never gave up. Helen knew how important their mission was, not just to honor Samantha's life, but also to show the Zorthi that humanity was not easily defeated. Finally, after countless sleepless nights and endless trials, the day of success arrived. Samantha's eyes opened slowly, blinking against the bright lights of the laboratory. Her first breath was deep and shaky, her heart beating strongly again. Confusion filled her mind as she tried to understand where she was and what had happened. Helen approached her gently, offering a warm smile. "Welcome back, Samantha. You're safe now. Where am I?" Samantha asked softly, her voice trembling slightly. Memories of the Zorthi flashed through her mind, making her heart race. "You're back on Earth," Helen explained kindly. "We brought you home." It took Samantha several days to fully understand everything that had occurred. The news of her revival quickly spread, causing excitement and joy among the people of Earth. Samantha found herself a symbol, her story inspiring millions across the globe. Though grateful, she felt a heavy weight on her shoulders. Determined to make her second chance at life meaningful, Samantha focused even more on peace and science. She began working closely with Helen and her team, learning about the incredible biotechnology that had given her a new life. Samantha realized how important it was to strengthen human resilience and diplomatic relations with other worlds. She traveled extensively, speaking at international conferences and sharing her experiences with others. Her words carried powerful messages about unity, peace, and the strength of humanity. Many leaders, deeply moved by her story, joined together to support projects focused on protecting and developing colonies in space. Despite her busy life, Samantha often felt a lingering unease. Her memories of the Zorthi, though fuzzy, reminded her of the harsh reality beyond Earth's safety. She knew humanity needed to be ready for anything, especially if peace efforts ever failed again. As months passed, Samantha became a powerful voice not just on Earth, but across many star systems. Alien species began reaching out, curious about the human who had survived death. Samantha worked tirelessly to establish friendly relations and alliances. She truly believed in a future where cooperation and understanding would prevent tragedies like her own. One evening, Samantha received news of another attack, this time on a distant outpost near the Zorthi territory. Her heart sank. Even though the incident was small, the threat was clear. Samantha decided she had to act directly. She requested permission to lead a diplomatic mission to speak with the Zorthi leaders personally, hoping her second life might serve as proof of humanity's good intentions. Earth leaders were hesitant, but eventually agreed, understanding Samantha's unique role. Accompanied by a small team, including Helen and a group of skilled diplomats, Samantha set out towards Zorthi space. As their ship traveled through the quiet darkness, Samantha felt a mix of hope and dread. She remembered vividly her first encounter with the Zorthi, and deep down, she feared what might await her this time. Yet Samantha remained determined. She reminded herself that this journey was about more than her personal fears. It was about peace, about making sure that no one else had to suffer as she once had. When they finally reached Zorthi space, Samantha stood confidently, ready to face whatever came next. Little did she know, The Zerthi were already planning another move against her, determined to silence her message forever. But Samantha was not the naive botanist she once had been. Her new life had given her strength and determination, making her ready to stand firm, no matter the challenge. She took a deep breath, stepping forward into uncertainty, her heart filled with courage and the unwavering belief in humanity's right to survive and thrive. The journey to Zerthi space was long and silent. Samantha Allen spent many hours in quiet reflection, staring out at the endless blackness beyond the window of her spacecraft. Her thoughts drifted to the friends and peaceful life she had lost, and the heavy responsibility now resting on her shoulders. Dr. Helen Carter noticed Samantha's quiet moments and approached her gently. "Are you all right, Samantha?" she asked softly. Samantha turned to her friend and offered a faint smile. "I'm worried, Helen. The Zerthi were not interested in peace before. Why should they listen now?" "Because you're different," Helen reassured her. "You've become a symbol of resilience and hope. Even they must see that." Samantha hoped Helen was right. Soon, the Zerthi homeworld appeared on their screens, a harsh and forbidding planet. Its surface was rugged, and dark clouds hid much of the land below. As they descended, Samantha felt an uneasy chill. Yet she stood tall, determined to remain brave. When the ship landed, Samantha and her team stepped out cautiously. They were quickly surrounded by Zerthi soldiers, heavily armed and intimidating. Samantha forced herself to remain calm. "We come in peace," she announced clearly. "We wish to speak to your leaders." The Zerthi soldiers exchanged glances but eventually led Samantha and her team toward a massive building. Inside, Samantha saw large halls with sharp angles, dark metal, and glowing lights, creating a sense of authority and intimidation. They were brought before a council of Zerthi leaders, who watched Samantha closely. The largest of them, named Kraft, stepped forward, his voice deep and menacing. "Why have you come here, human?" Samantha spoke calmly. "We want peace. We do not seek war or conflict. Cooperation benefits us all." Kraft laughed harshly, the sound echoing coldly. "You humans are weak, always begging for peace. Peace is not weakness," Samantha responded steadily. "It takes courage and strength to choose peace over violence." Kraft stared at her for a long moment, then motioned his guards forward. Without warning, they surrounded Samantha's team, weapons aimed at them. Samantha's heart raced. "We warn your people," Kraft growled. "You refuse to listen. Your presence is an insult." Before Samantha could react, chaos erupted. Zerthi soldiers opened fire, and her team tried desperately to shield themselves. Samantha felt panic rise, but she stood firm, shouting for her friends to take cover. Helen pulled Samantha behind a heavy metal structure, narrowly avoiding the blast. "Samantha, we have to get out," Helen urged, fear evident in her voice. "No," Samantha whispered fiercely. "If we run now, this conflict will never end." Stepping forward courageously, Samantha raised her arms, clearly showing she was unarmed. The firing stopped, confusion evident among the Zerthi soldiers. Kraft eyed her coldly. "You have courage, human," Kraft admitted grudgingly, approaching her slowly. "But courage alone is worthless here. Courage builds bridges," Samantha argued firmly, meeting his intense gaze. "Destroying me solves nothing. It only deepens our conflict." For a brief moment, it seemed Kraft might reconsider. Then, abruptly, he signaled his guards again. Samantha's heart sank, knowing the outcome was inevitable. A powerful blast hit Samantha, and she collapsed, darkness once again taking her. Helen screamed in grief as Samantha's body fell to the cold floor. This time, the Zerthi did not hide their actions. They broadcast Samantha's second death widely, taunting humanity with their cruelty. Earth watched in shock and horror, stunned by the brutal act. Grief and rage spread across the planet as billions of people mourned the courageous woman who had represented their highest ideals. Helen returned to Earth, devastated by the loss of her friend, but driven by determination. When she spoke to Earth's leaders, her voice trembled with emotion, but her message was strong. "We gave peace a chance," Helen declared. "Twice they killed Samantha. Twice they rejected our offers. We cannot ignore this any longer." Earth's leaders agreed. The second loss of Samantha Allen was too much to bear, a clear message that peace was not possible with the Zorthi. Humanity's mood changed quickly from sadness to a powerful, united determination. People everywhere called for action, demanding justice and protection for all human colonies. As Earth began mobilizing its forces, building ships, and forming powerful alliances, Samantha's name became a rallying cry. Her memory inspired courage, resolve, and unity among humanity. Helen, despite her deep sorrow, knew Samantha's life had mattered greatly. Samantha had not only taught humanity the strength of peace, but also the courage required to defend justice. Earth was now ready to fight, to protect itself, and to ensure that Samantha Allen's legacy would never be forgotten. The people of Earth had watched Samantha Allen's tragic death unfold on screens everywhere. Anger and sadness mixed together in their hearts, becoming a powerful force. Samantha had given her life twice, both times reaching for peace. Now, humanity was ready to respond strongly. Daniel Hart was a well-known military strategist who had spent his life protecting Earth's colonies. He stood in front of a group of leaders, his voice calm but firm. "We gave the Zorthi 2 chances," he explained. "Slowly, we cannot risk another. Now, it is time to defend our people." Leaders from across Earth nodded in agreement. Beside Daniel stood Alyssa Moore, a respected ambassador known for her wisdom and calm spirit. Alyssa stepped forward to speak, her eyes filled with determination. Samantha believed deeply in peace. "But the Zorthi see peace as weakness," Alyssa told the gathering. "We must now speak to them in a language they understand, strength." The leaders agreed without argument. Quickly, the mood of Earth changed from sadness to preparation. Shipyards became busy places, workers building new starships. At incredible speed, young people volunteered to join Earth's growing fleet, inspired by Samantha's courage and sacrifice. Daniel oversaw every detail, ensuring Earth's forces would be ready. He knew how important this fight was, not just for Earth, but for all the colonies across space. The Zorthi threat had to end. While Daniel handled military planning, Alyssa began traveling to other worlds. She visited alien species who also feared the Zorthi. Many were hesitant at first, unsure if humans were strong enough. But when Alyssa shared Samantha's story and Earth's determination, they listened. On one planet, Alyssa met leaders of a peaceful species known as the Arvorians. They disliked war but understood its necessity sometimes. "Your friend Samantha represented hope," an Arvorian leader said gently. "We see your courage. You have our support." Alliances quickly formed, making Earth's forces stronger than ever before. People everywhere knew Samantha's story now, turning their grief into resolve. Meanwhile, Daniel worked tirelessly with his team. Earth ships were equipped with advanced technology, powerful enough to match the Zorthi. New weapons and shields were carefully tested. Daniel knew that any weakness could cost lives. Each day, Daniel trained young pilots and crew members. He watched as they learned quickly, their eyes full of bravery. Many had joined after hearing Samantha's story, inspired to protect what she had believed in. One young pilot, Alex Grant, approached Daniel one evening. Alex was new, but showed promise. His voice was steady, despite being nervous. "Sir," Alex said respectfully, "Samantha's story made me realize we must protect peace. I'm proud to fight." Daniel smiled slightly, feeling proud of the young man's spirit. "We fight so others won't have to," he said gently. "Remember Samantha's courage, and keep it in your heart." Across Earth, people found new courage. Communities came together, supporting their military and diplomats. Samantha's name became a symbol of strength, unity, and determination. In the heart of the city, Helen Carter continued her scientific work. Her grief for Samantha drove her forward, developing even greater advancements in biotechnology to help wounded soldiers heal quickly. Helen often thought about Samantha's gentle voice and brave heart, guiding her through tough times. As preparations grew intense, Alyssa returned to Earth to join Daniel. Together, they visited Samantha's memorial garden beneath the transparent dome of her moon colony. Standing among the lush plants Samantha had cared for, Alyssa felt deeply moved. "We must never forget what Samantha stood for," Alyssa said softly. "We never will," Daniel agreed, placing his hand gently on Alyssa's shoulder. "We fight now because we have no choice. But someday, peace will return." Finally, Earth's fleet was ready. People gathered around screens, watching their brave ships leave for battle. Emotions ran high: pride, hope, fear, but mostly determination. Samantha's memory united them, strengthening their hearts. Daniel and Alyssa stood on the command ship's bridge, watching the stars ahead. Both felt a heavy responsibility, but drew strength from their shared goal. "We will make this right," Daniel promised quietly. "For Samantha," Alyssa said firmly, "and for all humanity." With those words, the fleet moved forward, heading toward Zurity space. Earth had tried peace twice, losing Samantha Allen both times. Now humanity moved forward with unwavering purpose. They were ready to defend justice, to protect their future, and to honor the woman who had taught them the true meaning of courage. The fleet moved steadily toward Zurity territory, their ships gleaming in the darkness of space. Daniel Hart stood calmly on the bridge, his eyes carefully studying the screens in front of him. Beside him, Alyssa Moore quietly spoke with crew members, ensuring everyone was ready for what lay ahead. The mood on board was serious, but filled with determination. Crew members knew the stakes were high. They carried memories of Samantha Allen in their hearts, each one ready to honor her sacrifice. Young pilot Alex Grant checked his controls carefully, recalling Daniel's words about courage. He felt ready but nervous. "All ships report ready, sir," a crew member announced clearly. Daniel nodded slowly. "Let's begin." The fleet moved as one, entering Zurity space cautiously. It wasn't long before their screens showed a massive Zurity force waiting for them. The alien ships were large and intimidating, lined up to block their path. "Incoming communication," another crew member said. Suddenly, "Put it through," Daniel ordered calmly. The face of Kraft, the Zurity leader who had killed Samantha, appeared on the screen. His eyes were cold and angry. "You humans should have learned your lesson," Kraft growled. "You cannot defeat us." Daniel stepped forward, facing Kraft firmly. "You underestimated us before, Kraft. You took Samantha Allen from us twice. We are here now to ensure you won't harm anyone again." Kraft laughed cruelly. "We will destroy you easily." "We will see," Daniel replied confidently, signaling to cut the communication. Moments later, the battle began. Bright lights filled the darkness as lasers and missiles flashed across space. Earth's fleet fought bravely, their advanced technology holding strong against the powerful Zurity ships. Explosions erupted on both sides. Fierce and intense. Alex flew skillfully, dodging enemy fire and supporting his fellow pilots. His heart pounded, but his mind remained focused. Nearby, other young pilots fought bravely, remembering why they were there. Daniel watched closely from the command ship, directing the battle with calm efficiency. "Focus your attacks," he commanded clearly. "Protect each other and stay sharp." Alyssa coordinated closely with their new allies, including the peaceful Arvorians, who bravely joined the battle. Their sleek ships flew gracefully, their support crucial against the powerful Zurafi. Slowly, the battle began to turn in Earth's favor. The Zurathi had underestimated humanity's resolve and preparation. Earth's fleet pressed forward, steadily gaining ground. Kraft, furious at his force's struggles, ordered a massive attack on Earth's main ship. Daniel saw the incoming threat clearly. He acted quickly, commanding defensive measures and alerting his pilots, "Protect the command ship." Daniel ordered urgently. Alex, hearing Daniel's order, moved immediately. He and other pilots formed a protective barrier around the main ship, bravely facing the incoming attack head-on. Explosions erupted around them, but they held their positions courageously. Inside the command ship, Alyssa watched anxiously, admiring the bravery of the young pilots. She knew how much was at stake and felt deep pride. The Zorthi attack began. To falter, their ships losing power rapidly. Earth's fleet pushed harder, determined to finish the battle. One by one, Zorthi ships retreated or were destroyed. Kraft's ship remained defiantly in place, refusing to surrender. Daniel knew this. Confrontation was necessary. Samantha's sacrifice had made it clear that true peace required strength. Kraft, Daniel addressed him through open communication. Your people deserve peace too. End this violence now. Kraft's voice shook with rage. We will never surrender to you. Then we have no choice, Daniel replied firmly but regretfully. Earth's. Ships launched a final powerful attack. Kraft's ship trembled under heavy fire, explosions tearing through its structure. Moments later, it shattered into countless pieces, marking the end of the fierce. Zorthi leader. Silence filled the command ship briefly before cheers erupted throughout Earth's fleet. They had won, though victory was bittersweet. Daniel and Alyssa shared a solemn glance, understanding the cost of their triumph. We did this for Samantha, Alyssa whispered softly. And for peace, Daniel agreed. His voice filled with quiet pride. The fleet slowly turned toward home, their mission complete. They had protected Earth and its colonies, proving their strength and unity. The battle had shown clearly that humanity would always stand firm against aggression. Alex sat back in his cockpit, relief flooding through him. He felt proud, remembering Samantha's courage, knowing her legacy would live on forever. Across Earth, people celebrated joyfully. Samantha Allen's name echoed everywhere, honored deeply by the courageous fight. Humanity had faced the greatest challenge and won, forever changed by the brave woman who had twice given her life for peace. Now, as they headed home, everyone knew their true work was just beginning to build a lasting peace, stronger and more meaningful because of Samantha Allen. The victorious fleet returned to Earth with pride and solemn hearts. Daniel Hart and Alyssa Moore stood together on the bridge as their ships approached home, watching Earth slowly grow larger in the viewscreen. Relief mixed with quiet sadness in their hearts, as both knew the victory had come at a heavy cost. When the ships landed, thousands of people waited to greet them. They cheered loudly, waving flags and holding signs honoring Samantha Allen. Families hugged their loved ones tightly. Thankful for their safe return, Daniel stepped off the ship first, his eyes gentle as he took in the celebrating crowd. Alyssa walked beside him, her smile warm but thoughtful. They both knew their real mission was not yet complete. Soon after, Earth's leaders organized a large ceremony to honor those who had fought bravely. Daniel and Alyssa stood on a wide stage in front of a massive gathering. Helen Carter stood nearby, holding back tears as she thought of Samantha. Earth's president stepped forward, speaking clearly and powerfully. Today we celebrate courage and strength, she began. But we also remember the brave woman who inspired it all, Samantha Allen. The crowd cheered again, emotions running high. The president continued, her voice softer but firm. Samantha taught, use that peace as our goal, but we must protect it fiercely. Her sacrifice reminds us of our responsibility to one another and future generations. Alyssa nodded thoughtfully, holding back her emotions. Daniel remained quiet, his eyes distant, reflecting deeply on the battles and Samantha's memory. After the ceremony, Daniel and Alyssa visited Samantha's memorial garden. It was peaceful, filled with beautiful plants she had loved and cared for. They stood quietly, each lost in their thoughts. She would be proud, Alyssa whispered gently, breaking the silence. Yes, Daniel agreed softly. But she would remind us there's still much work ahead. Determined to honor Samantha fully, Alyssa began reaching out to alien worlds again, aiming to build strong bonds of friendship and cooperation. She traveled extensively, her calm presence and wise words bringing new allies closer to Earth. On one journey, Alyssa visited the Arvorian homeworld, warmly welcomed by the leaders there. "Your courage has inspired us," one Arvorian leader told her sincerely. "Together, we will build lasting peace." Meanwhile, Daniel continued strengthening Earth's defenses. He knew that peace required strength, careful planning, and preparation. He trained new leaders, passing on lessons learned from the battle with the Zorthi. Helen Carter also worked hard, using her biotechnology research to help injured soldiers heal quickly. She often thought of Samantha, remembering her gentle spirit and strong determination. Back on the moon colony, Clara carefully tended Samantha's memorial garden. She spent long hours there, finding comfort among the plants. Visitors often stopped by, silently paying respects to the brave woman who had changed everything. As months passed, Earth's strength and alliances grew steadily. People across the globe felt safer, inspired by Samantha's powerful legacy. Schools taught lessons about peace, courage, and the importance of standing together against threats. One day, Daniel and Alyssa received news that deeply moved them. The Zorthi, now under new leadership, had reached out peacefully. Their new leader expressed regret for past violence, wishing to start fresh relations based on respect and understanding. Daniel and Alyssa traveled together to meet this new leader, hoping to begin a new chapter. The meeting was tense but hopeful, marked by cautious optimism. "We deeply regret our actions," the Zorthi leader explained sincerely. "Samantha Allen's courage and humanity's strength showed us another path. We want to honor her memory by seeking peace." Daniel listened carefully, his heart hopeful yet cautious. Alyssa responded kindly but firmly. "Peace requires trust and respect. We can build these step by step." Back on Earth, people greeted this news with cautious optimism. Samantha's sacrifice had brought humanity to this important moment. Many felt pride in their achievements, but knew the journey ahead required patience, strength, and unity. Daniel and Alyssa continued working side by side, guiding Earth forward carefully. They traveled widely, ensuring the fragile new peace was strong and lasting. In quiet moments, Daniel often thought about Samantha's bravery, her gentle heart, and her deep commitment to peace. Alyssa frequently spoke of Samantha during her travels, reminding all she met about the incredible woman whose life and death had inspired humanity's greatest achievements. Together, Daniel, Alyssa, Helen, and countless others worked tirelessly to protect the hard-earned peace, ensuring Samantha's sacrifice was never forgotten. Her story became a lasting reminder that courage, kindness, and determination could overcome even the greatest challenges, shaping a brighter future for everyone. Years passed peacefully after the fierce battles with the Zorthi. Samantha Allen's memory remained strong across Earth and its colonies. The moon colony had grown into a flourishing community, filled with life and hope, a testament to Samantha's vision of harmony and growth. Clara still tended the memorial garden daily, keeping Samantha's spirit alive. Many visitors traveled there from distant worlds to see where Samantha had worked, finding inspiration in the quiet beauty of the plants. She loved. Daniel Hart had retired from active duty, but remained deeply involved in training and advising new leaders. His experiences had made him wise and respected, and many sought his guidance. Alyssa Moore had become a trusted diplomat, traveling to different star systems, maintaining strong alliances and peaceful cooperation. One day, Clara received a message from Alyssa, inviting her and Daniel to a special gathering on Earth. Curious and excited, Clara quickly agreed. Daniel also gladly accepted the invitation, eager to see Alyssa again. When they arrived, Earth seemed brighter than ever, buzzing with life and anticipation. The ceremony was held in a beautiful park in the city center, filled with people from many different planets and cultures. Everyone had gathered to witness something special, the dedication of a grand monument to Samantha Allen. The monument was impressive, tall, and graceful, made of clear glass and gleaming metal. It depicted Samantha looking up at the stars, a gentle smile on her face, her hand reaching out towards space and peace. The base of the monument displayed her powerful words. Peace is strength, courage, and hope. Daniel and Clara stood together, deeply moved by the sight. Alyssa joined them, smiling warmly. She would have loved this, Alyssa said softly, gazing at the monument, a lasting symbol of everything she believed. The Earth President stepped forward to speak, her voice clear and proud. Today we honor Samantha Allen not just as a hero, but as a guide for all future generations. Her bravery taught us the value of peace, the necessity of courage, and the power of hope. The crowd cheered loudly, emotions running deep. Clara wiped away tears, proud of her dear friend. After the ceremony, Daniel, Alyssa, and Clara shared stories, remembering Samantha's kindness, determination, and vision. They laughed and cried together, grateful for having known such an extraordinary person. Later that evening, Alyssa invited them to her home, where they sat comfortably, continuing their conversations. Peace was Samantha's greatest wish. Daniel reflected quietly. She showed us the path, and we walked it because of her. Alyssa nodded, adding softly, she gave everything for peace, and now it's our duty to keep it alive. Clara smiled gently. Every plant I tend in her garden reminds me of that duty. She taught me patience and hope. As they spoke, a message arrived. From the Zorathi leader, now a trusted friend. It expressed deep gratitude and respect for Samantha and promised ongoing peace and cooperation. How far we've come, Alyssa said, amazed. Her legacy reaches beyond humans. Samantha changed the galaxy. Days later, Daniel, Alyssa, and Claire returned to the moon colony, visiting Samantha's garden once again. Standing among the blooming plants, Daniel spoke softly. She believed every life had value, every voice mattered. She fought bravely for these beliefs. Her courage lives on, Alyssa said firmly. It is in every alliance we form, every peaceful negotiation, every act of kindness. Clara touched the flowers gently, smiling. Her heart lives here too. They stood quietly, feeling Samantha's spirit around them, reminding them of their responsibility. The moon colony continued to grow, becoming an example of harmony, where different species live peacefully together, sharing knowledge and friendship. As years went on, Samantha's story was taught to every child, her courage and kindness guiding new generations. She became a symbol of what humanity could achieve: peace, unity, and strength through compassion. On clear nights, many looked to the stars, thinking of Samantha Allen. Her legacy was alive in every peaceful handshake, every agreement signed, and every community built on mutual respect and understanding. In Samantha's honor, Earth declared a new day, Unity Day, celebrated by humans and their allies each year. It became a joyful time of remembering, celebrating friendships, and strengthening peace across the galaxy. Daniel, Alyssa, Clara, and Helen Carter continued to teach others about Samantha's ideals, ensuring her legacy never faded. Through their efforts, her dreams continued to grow, spreading hope and peace to countless worlds. Samantha Allen, the brave botanist who had twice faced death, had given humanity a lasting deep proof that peace was possible, powerful, and always worth fighting. FOR